introduction, but still, I'll introduce you.
Thank you.
For those of you who happen to not know Omri, so he's the captain, just briefly, captain of the Israeli national basketball team. The first Israeli player in the NBA now into his ninth season.
Yes.
And by the way, stats-wise for the geeks here, the average lifespan of an NBA player is 4 years and 8 months in the NBA. So he's already double the average career in the NBA. He played 547 games in the NBA, yeah, that's quite an achievement. And he lately achieved in the past 2 years 2 new highs. One, he's a legitimate rotational player in the best basketball team on the planet. And most importantly, he's now a dad.
Right.
Beautiful.
That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing.
8 months old, and we have the pleasure of also hosting his wife in the audience as well.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's really my first time coming out to the community and doing events like that. You know, I never really touched that part of my life. Always kept being basketball minded, and now it's an opportunity to share some of the experiences I've had over the years and to learn and to engage in the community. It's a beautiful event. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for joining. So I thought we'll start our conversation just talking a bit about your journey here. ICON is an organization building bridges between the Valley and Israel, and you've built a very big bridge between Israel and the US over the last 9 years that became sort of a huge highway between Israel and the Valley just over the last year. And you know, many of us in the audience are entrepreneurs, and I think we can learn a lot from your entrepreneurial career in the last 9 years. You had a vision, you had a strategy, you had a plan, you showed a perseverance and true grit, and you convinced others to believe in you. So let's start with the vision first.
Right.
If we can play the first video, and just talk about the vision for your entrepreneurial career a little bit.
אמא ואבא, אני מבטיח לכם שאני אגיע ל-NBA, אני אשחק כאן, ואתם תבואו ותראו את המשחק.
Can you talk about that? Like, how old were you?
That's my bar mitzvah trip, so I was 13. It's funny, I was wearing number 18. It's a random shirt, and that's the, you know, by accident is the number that I wear today. And definitely a vision, you know, it's definitely a dream come true. When at that age, obviously you're not, you know, you're saying things and you're not really, I'm not sure I meant what I said there, but it was my bar mitzvah trip. We started actually here in San Francisco. We drove all the way to LA, Vegas. We flew to New York and traveled for a couple of weeks, and it was awesome. But I was a big basketball fan at the time, and I remember walking into the NBA store at the time and on Fifth. And me and my parents, you know, I played basketball. I was pretty solid at the time. I wasn't anything special, though. And my older brother was actually better than me and more talented. So my mom and dad never really, you know, they always supported all of us, but they thought he's the one that's going to make it to play for Maccabi or whatnot. And I was fortunate enough to work hard and good things happen. But definitely a vision. You know, there's so many similarities between entrepreneurship and basketball and sports in general. You know, it starts from working under pressure. You know, now playing for the Warriors, sometimes I can come into a game to play, after I didn't play last game, to come in for 3 minutes, you know, and you got to perform. You got to perform at a high level.
Can you ask you guys to switch handhelds between you? Because this one is louder and we can hardly hear you with this one.
Okay.
Is this better?
Yeah. You better?
Yeah?
Sorry. Closer to my mouth. Right. Sorry. So working under pressure, teamwork, you know, especially in sports and basketball, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be from Stephen Curry to the 15 guy on our roster. You got to work as a team. You know, you got to perform under pressure. You got to, you know, work as one. You know, some nights, you know, Steph got it going and we're all working for him. The next it's KD. It happens more than couple of times a year. So, you know, you always got to be on edge to get these guys going and get them the ball. But, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be with these guys and compete and learn from them so much. So I learned a lot about myself during that time, and obviously there's a lot of similarities.
And can you, I mean, jumping since you mentioned that, can you talk a bit about that? I mean, there's the highs and then there's the lows.
Right.
Let's start actually with the lows and get to the highs. Like, how do you do that, right? Like, always under pressure.
Always.
Always ready to jump from the bench if the coach calls you the same day after not playing for weeks. Pulling you from injury, from coaches that maybe sort of stop believing in you. Always ready, you know, being ready with the option of being traded away like the next week, like, and doing it for 9 years, day in and day out. How do you stay so sharp and on top of it?
It's hard. It was harder for me at my younger years. You know, I learned a lot of sports psychology lately, and some of the mistakes I've done over the years is that I let a lot of outside noises affect who I am and what I am, you know, in a sense. Because at the end of the day, what we are is what we reflect out, not what outside reflects to us and who we are, you know. I'm trying to get that point across. So let's say I'm sending a message out. So the message from the outside won't affect who I am. So if a coach doesn't like me, so he doesn't like me. That's his opinion. It doesn't affect my skills or who I am and what I'm about, you know. So, you know, the fans, they don't dictate who I am and what I'm about, or the media, the coach, the minutes I'm playing, the shot I missed, you know. So in the end of the day, you know, you're going through ups and downs in life, and it's all about how you're coming out of them, and you got to stay consistent in what you do, you know. At the end of the day, you know, you're going through a season and, you know, playing 82 games. I started the season really good. I was a big part of the rotation. I got hurt. Now I'm a little bit out of the rotation. I got to work my way back in. And it's just like that, you know. There's very few, you know, elite athletes like Kevin Durant and Steph Curry that, you know, in NBA, I look at it as that there's about 10 to 15% of the league they're just above everybody else. You know, those guys, you can put them in any other team and they'll still be the superstars they are at any team. If you put LeBron James with the Lakers or Steph Curry with, you know, Oklahoma City, he'll be Steph Curry. You know, so those guys are above everybody else. And then there's a big chunk of the league that, you know, 65%, even 70% of the NBA, that these guys need the right opportunity, they need the right coach and the right system, they need to play with the good group of guys around them. Sometimes you see players playing really good in one team and then, you know, they get traded and they move to a different team and they're not playing as good. So, you know, I feel that, you know, I hope I'm in that, you know, that group, that it's always important that you have a good relationship with the coach, always good that you keep your mind at the right, you know, mindset in a sense. So, you just got to take, you know, the good and the bad as it comes, you know, and compete at a high level and stay sharp at what you do.
And did you always have that sort of intrinsic optimism, that energy
No.
to sort of like pull yourself out in the toughest moment? Or
No.
I mean, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the audience. We all have shitty moments,
Right.
like the product missed the launch, we couldn't raise a fund, we have to close the company, we have to fire people.
Right.
There's a lot of up and downs. Like, how do you coach yourself to deal with those downs, to pull yourself out?
It's not easy, you know, it's not easy, especially as I came here as a 21-year-old, you know, just out of the Army, played professionally for Maccabi Tel Aviv for 3 years, and suddenly you compete with the best athletes in the world. You know, not a lot of people gave me a chance to even be here. They said the draft was weak, and now you're looking back at our draft, he's one of the best drafts of all times, maybe. And then the coach not play him, he's not talented enough, he doesn't work hard enough, so et cetera, et cetera. So there's always people who doubt you, you know, and to me, you know, it doesn't matter what I learned of what not. In the end of the day, I want to compete with the best, and I want to compete, you know. I want to, over the years, I've had opportunities maybe to go back to Europe and you know, start in a really good team in Europe or whatnot, but it never settled my mind that I won't be able to compete with the best. It doesn't matter how much money I make. When I retire, I want to look back at my career and I want to tell myself, I give myself the best chance to compete with the best. So when I'm going through downs and when I'm, you know, there's a coach who doesn't like me now, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, there's coaches that like you, and there's investors that I talk to and they like what I do, and there's people who don't. And that's just one opinion and their opinion. They never really, it shouldn't really affect who I am and what I'm about. And that message I really want to, you know, come across and bring it out as loud as I can to my coaches, to my teammates. and to our fans and to the media in the end of the day, you know.
Thanks for sharing. Okay, so let's take a step back and talk about this draft. Maybe one of the things that helps you, correct me if I'm wrong, gives you that support. You know, for a good startup and a good entrepreneur, you always need partners.
Right.
Or people that support you. So if we can actually roll the second video, and, let's see some of that support structure and partnerships in action.
The 23rd pick in the 2009 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Omri Casspi from Rehoboth, Israel, and Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Omri Casspi, 6'9", 211 pounds from Israel. No player born in Israel has ever played in the NBA. The fans here in New York loving it. He is a member of the Israeli.
Feels like yesterday.
Can you walk us through that? Like the family, like what's...
So in the video, you guys kind of showed a little bit. So literally right before my agent called me, he was 15 seconds on the clock, and I literally just hung up the phone with my agent, and he said, "Omri, you're going next." and you know, I wanted to keep a poker face. You know, I wanted the surprise to come out. I knew that I'm getting drafted, and you work your whole life to that moment. You know, seriously, it's definitely a dream come true. But and then your agent calls you and tells you you're going next. You're getting drafted by the Kings, and I'm saying back, okay. So my agent, are you not excited? Like, well, yeah, I am. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And I hang up the phone. And my dad says, "So what's going on? What did he say?" So he said nothing. He's like, "What?" I was like, "There's 15 seconds. Let's see what happens." And then you know, definitely, you know, David Stern said my name, and it was amazing. So my family, you know, I would never be here without them. You know, from the day I started to up to this day, my dad watches all my games. My mom as well, you know. And from a 13-year-old playing Maccabi Rishon against Hapoel Jerusalem back in Israel to go, you know, travel the country with me every Thursday that we played, and then I went play for Maccabi and never missed a game. You know, that support system was, you know, a very big part of who I am as a person, of who I am as a basketball player, who I am as a human being. In the end, you know, it's all about that in the end. So those guys, you know, we talk to them twice a day, and I'm up with it today. And you know, after every game, my dad has his input about the game, what he thinks. Like, you're not playing good. And like, what's going on? You didn't take the rebound there. I was like, Dad, I know. I've been playing long enough. Trust me, I know. But sometimes it's still, well, I did it when you were 14. It was good. Why is it not good anymore? I was like, Dad, I know. Trust me, I know now. I know the game now. You can let go, you know. But it's just, you know, they're, you know, incredible human beings, and you know, they come every, you know, two, 3 times a year to watch the games here. And when the first time I played in the Garden, they came from Israel to see the game. My father had courtside tickets at the time. We were super excited about that, and support system is so important, man. It's I never wouldn't be able to go through those up and down. As a 13-year-old, when you have a girlfriend and you got to go to school and you got to do, you know, you just failed mathematics and you got to do, you know, you got to go through all that, and your friends want to go out at night and you got to go to sleep because you have, you know, national team practice on a Saturday morning and go with that. So having my parents as my backbone really shaped, you know, the person I am.
Hey, so you had a vision, you had the partners, then you got selected in the draft, and you're moving to the US. And we spoke about the lows. Let's speak a bit about the highs. So, you know, nobody gave you, there was a lot of doubters.
Right.
You're getting a place in the Open 5 within like a few months. doing extremely well, get basically an offer, basically an invite to the All-Star game in your first year in the NBA. Things are just amazing. How do you make adjustments to, I mean, it's a new culture,
Right.
it's a new state, it's a new language, it's a new way of playing basketball, it's new everything. We talk about adjustments from Israel to the States. How did you accomplish such a rapid adjustment within just a few months?
So thankfully, I had the support system at that time too. My brother, I literally just finished Army. I went through the draft process, and I was still a soldier in the Army at the time. You know, I was 20 years old, and my older brother came with me. And that's a big sacrifice for him. You know, he was engaged at the time to his wife now. They've been dating for a couple of years, and he told her, I have to go help my brother. You know, I have to go and help him to get settled in the U.S. He won't be able to do it on his own, and he moved there to the U.S. with me, just me and him for 2 years. You know, he was my older brother. He helped everything I needed at the time. So that part of the family is always, you know, is obviously supportive, and you know, it's a big reason why I'm still here, you know, to lay the foundation of everything that we did. So, but at the same time, I've had, you know, people around me. I was always a willing learner. I felt that, you know, it's not a shame to say I don't know. Even up until today, you know, I always, if it's, you know, in a business meeting or in a game or whatnot, it's just, I don't know. What do you mean? Just I want to understand it the right way, and I want to go things the right way. So. I've had role models within our team that helped me, you know, to go out and shoot and you know, to work through adversity. And there's doubters. I mean, now I feel, you know, that the way the life is and social media, it's a lot easier for doubters to get at you. You know, it wasn't like that. You know, I came here, it wasn't even Twitter at the time. Now it's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that. It's just when you have a bad game, it just follows you everywhere. You know, sometimes it's tough. Seriously, it's just, you know. You miss a shot in a game, you missed you know, you're not being aggressive or whatnot. It's out there for you every day, you know. So it's part of reality now. So you got to deal with that, and you go the right way about things. So at the time, I was, you know, in my draft class, we had Blake Griffin, we had Steph Curry, we had James Harden, we had DeMar DeRozan, we had, you know, the list goes on and on and on, really good basketball player. Out of our draft, it's funny, out of the first round, you know, only 15 players left. And all of them, I think 10 of them are all-stars now. So really good draft. And I was fortunate enough to get to Dallas and play the all-star game, the rookie-sophomore game, and you know, alongside Steph and Blake and those guys. So I always felt that I need to learn more and get better. Things in the beginning went more, you know, I would say I put it in a sense that I played and I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. You know, I was playing the game, and as a 21-year-old going up against Kobe Bryant, and you know, here I am playing with him, you know, and shooting threes, and the ball goes in. You know, now I feel like a lot more mature in my game and knowing what I need to do to keep it consistent. You know, and especially in a team like ours that you compete for a championship. You know. Think about it. You can be in Game 6 of NBA Finals, you know, and you got to go out there and know what you're doing and be ready to play at any time in every circumstance. So, just knowing what you do is very important.
Okay, so you laid a foundation, early success, went through adversity, put yourself, sustained 8 years in the league. Then you're getting a call, and I want to transition to talk a bit about the Warriors. But before that, maybe we'll play the last video I promised. Of maybe one of the reasons you got that call. That's a bit longer session, but I couldn't get this a
9 boards. Step back, and there it is. His first field goal, it's a 3. Continues that streak of threes made in a game. Second longest in NBA history.
That's a determination basket. He just will not allow him to be that bad. And Casspi's got it going tonight. First trip into Sacramento when he was drafted. Now he's come back second time around strongly.
And he's that hot.
You knew that was going to be good.
Absolutely. He was 20 in the first half. The Warriors had pulled it within 3. Look back up. Down 9.
The Kings have confidence now.
Kings are just daring the Warriors to shoot threes. They're getting away with it, but not forever. Curry rails the three. Oh, wow. The half is going to come at a good time. And Steph Curry is starting to heat up a little bit. 3 threes. And somehow the Warriors are within 3. And then there's another 3 by Casspi. So Omri Casspi, 23 and a half. Curry. Let's go back and forth.
Israel to watch the game. Probably about 4 in the morning there.
There's the reload and another 3. So Omri Casspi.
He's doing his best. Clay Thompson look-alike.
Curry on the crossover, step down the lane.
Just play one-on-one, Casspi Curry.
Hayes can go.
What went through your mind in
Nothing.
those 2 minutes, 5 minutes?
Nothing, literally. It was just you playing the game. You know, the ball goes in, and you know, obviously I watched it plenty of times, but it just, I mean, it happens to Steph a couple of times, but it never really happens when you go back and forth like that. You know, and it's just an amazing night. I mean, that was definitely one of the reasons I'm here, and you know, when you play against a team like that, and you know, you play well, so the coaches kind of go back and think about what they can improve their team. So it was amazing. You know, we lost that game, unfortunately, but it was fun.
So let's talk about the Warriors. Okay, so you're getting the call. Can you describe that? Like, how did they approach you? What did they ask you to do? What roles were they on the team? Why did they want you on the team? How did you think about their offer? Just walk us through that.
Well, they kind of sent out a message through the agents before July 1st, and they said they want to talk to me on July 1st. I was back home. It was Saturday morning, so it goes by 12 o'clock at night New York time. So it's basically 7 a.m. our time in Israel, and I kind of got prepped from it from my agent and what they're about to talk to me and who I'm going to talk to. So Kirk Lacob, this Joe Lacob's son, is our assistant GM. And this the owner's son, obviously. And he said that they've been big fans of my game. They think I can really fit the system. I can fit, what they're trying to do. They have very high quality, sophisticated, locker room, and they think they want to add people that are, I'm not trying to say I'm sophisticated and smart, but I'm saying is that they have really good locker room and they're trying to have good people around. And Steve is an amazing person to work for and play for. And they have an offer for me. They want me to come play for them. I was really excited. I was excited before that talk, and before after that, I talked to Steve Kerr for about 15 minutes about what he sees about the team. And one of the things that he said at the time is that he wants me to come and play with the guys and kind of work the system. I think the system can really fit my game. He loved the European basketball. I think the European basketball plays a lot like he's trying to play here with the Warriors, that the ball moves and it's not just a one-on-one ISO like the NBA was maybe 10, 15 years ago. Anything I can fit that notion of a basketball, and I was sold on it from the beginning, but I wanted to wait and see what other opportunities I've had in the market, and we kind of waited for 2-3 more days, and before we kind of went back to them and said I'm willing to do it. I want to do it. And it was July 6th at the time, and then my baby was born July 7th. So it was an amazing weekend. Yeah, it was an amazing weekend. And
I remember, right, you told Steve you're going to stay in Israel for
right.
a few more days.
Yeah, literally our due date was July 9th, and I said I got to be here. Not because my wife is here, it's just because I wanted to be there, and I wanted to be there for the birth of my first baby. So. They're obviously great, and I came here for literally 48 hours, and I was back on Israel when the baby was born, and then 2-3 days later I flew here just to do physicals and get through everything and sign the contract and flew right back. So it was awesome. The organization is amazing.
So let's talk a bit about that organization, but let's start with the team. You mentioned a sophisticated locker room. this is a very unique team.
Right.
Can you just tell us a bit behind the scenes, like how can you assemble the team and how can you actually retain it and have all of those mega stars check their ego in the door and get in? I mean, as us sort of team builders, that's something we have to also sort
Right.
of put ourselves in sort of Steve's head. Like how are you assembling that team?
Well, first, there's a notion in sport that people think sports build character, and I tend to disagree because I think sports reveals character, in a sense. And they've done over the years an amazing job they drafted really well from Steph was before this ownership group was the owners of the Warriors, but over the years they drafted really well and they added the right free agent for the team. And the cherry on the pie is Steve. He's just an amazing person to play for, an amazing guy. He's generally a really good person. Knows the game at a very high level, won everywhere we've been, so he has the respect of the players. But, when the star of the team, puts his ego out, and focus on the right stuff, it's pretty easy for the rest of the crew to, follow his leadership, And Steve has done an amazing job of communicating to the guys, and I said it plenty of times to Steve and his staff. It's like, there can be games, games that you're not playing. But you come into the gym the next day and they treat you like you are a really special player. They respect you, and then you can really feel that from the coaching staff. And I've been in a situation when I came into I haven't played a game or whatnot, and you come into the gym the next day and they don't treat you, they don't treat you right, and that hurts in a sense. It shouldn't, but it is. It's just life, And here you come into the gym and the strength and conditioning coach, through our medical staff, through the GM, through our owner, through our assistant coaches, through Steve. He just comes in the morning. Hey, how's your daughter? And it's amazing to be home just for a few days, huh? Oh, I can't wait. I'm so happy that you're here. We're happy to have you. Just in a random conversation. And he didn't play the night before, and he's literally coming from a really nice place, and it's like you feel appreciated, and it's fun. You want to. In the end of the day, we all like to feel appreciated and to feel that we're in the right place and we're doing the right things that we need to do to play. And they just amazing communicators, and we have really an amazing group of guys, from what they do outside of basketball to their basketball skills, are just an amazing group of guys to be around, just fun.
Amazing conversation. Okay, well, we should talk a bit about basketball. Let us start maybe the cuts. We promise not to share any of your secret moves, but I know. You seem to somehow make yourself available, and it seems something simple, but yet nobody, not a lot of folks are doing that so successfully as you.
It just, the system, the way the guys are playing, are so. The egos are motivated in the right direction. So when two guys are on the ball, there's somebody open. And we have so many good passers around, so it makes our job a lot easier. Sometimes I'm sending a random screen of Clay, and my guy is so nervous of Clay coming in and just gives me an opportunity to cut to the basket and you're wide open. So all those little things, you just got to play the game the right way. Just play hard and good things will happen. And if you go, just in life, you go the right way about things in life, good things will happen to you. I feel like it doesn't matter who you really are. You can be the CEO of Twitter, or you can be just a random guy in our locker room. If you being nice to people and generally good, good things will happen back to you. And our guys are just amazing at that. We have sometimes it's funny because you have guys just had a 45-point game, and they come into the team plan, and we're playing cards in the back. And Steph is just making jokes, and it's just amazing. Just sometimes me and the other guys are talking, like he doesn't get it. It's just he's so amazingly good. Not just him, but he just had a 50-point game, and it's just so regular. You talk to him about life, and you just got an argument with his wife or whatnot or whatever. Whatever it is. It's just a regular person. It's just amazing to see that he carry himself the right way.
Maybe I could not ask about three-pointers. So
Right.
Such an amazing team of free shooters.
Right.
Are you encouraged to take those, or
I should.
discouraged to take those? Or
No, I should.
What sort of free-pointers this season?
I should. It's a lot harder when you kind of.
Right.
I had a tough
Yeah.
stretch that I got hurt, and it's tough that everybody, we have so many good shooters around, and sometimes you have opportunities to make a layup, and why not to take that? But at the same time, it's who I am and what I'm about. You know, it's been my game my whole career, and it's definitely something that the team is looking for more now. And you know, when the opportunity comes, I definitely should definitely take them. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So, as far as the Warriors, maybe let's just talk a bit about Israel before we open up for the audience. So where should we start? Well, I mean, first, you've been probably in more states than any one of us in the US, and you are official and unofficial the ambassador, and we know that. We're living in a bubble here in the Valley. What's sort of, as you go out there and sort of talk about Israel, talk with the communities, represent us, sort of see what people react to you, sort of what's, can you just share that a bit? Like what's the perception of people of Israel outside of the Valley? What's the feedback you're getting? What kind of interactions you're having with the audience?
Right. Well, it's you know, obviously Israel. My foundation, I started it 4 years ago, maybe. Yeah, 4 years ago, in order to create good, create good for Israel, to share the story of our country. You know, and so many times I traveled around the country here in the U.S. and I felt like people are not really aware of our beautiful country, of everything that's going on in Israel. Not necessarily from tech standpoint of just about how, you know, diverse the country is and you know, multicultural and you know, our history and the opportunity that people have to practice their religion, whether they're Jewish, Christian, or Muslims. And people are not aware of that, and I wanted to get the story out, you know, and I felt I have a unique opportunity playing with these guys that are high caliber, you know, celebrities, and especially in the world that we are today with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. It's an opportunity to get these guys to Israel and have them share their you know, their experience through their social media. And I felt, you know, I've had over the years, we had Iman Shumpert and DeMarcus Cousins and Chandler Parsons and Rudy Gay. We had some UFC fighters, you know, Hollywood people. And, you know, a kid from Alabama who was a fan of DeMarcus Cousins, suddenly he sees him at the Western Wall on a Friday night or, you know, just enjoying the beach in Tel Aviv. Say, hey, Israel is not, I just watch it on TV and it seems cool. DeMarcus is just there and it gives a good vibe about Israel. So that was the point where he started. And then over the years, I was fortunate to have good people that donated a lot of money and helped me to relieve that dream. And it was awesome. But it's funny that you travel to the country and you see a lot of people are not really, for them, they think Israel, you probably guys heard that over the years. It's, you know, there's camels and they think, you know, we go into the well to get water. It's funny, but it's true, you know. So I've had, you know, a small part of, I wanted to do something from my part in order to help Israel, and I felt like it would be a good way to do things.
Are you going to do one this summer as well?
That's a good question. I'm thinking of it. The problem is that our season is so long this year.
Right.
Hopefully we'll be playing in June.
It's a good problem.
Yeah, very good problem. And hopefully we'll be playing in June 16th of NBA Finals, and it's hard because free agency started in July, and but it's still a unique opportunity. If we win a championship and to do a trip like that, it can be, you know, create a really good buzz about Israel and have that all come to play. So we'll see. I'm working on it.
Excited about the playoffs. There's 19 games left to the season. First
19.
time in your career.
It's not my first time in my career, but hopefully the first time I really play. So
right.
That's the hope.
Are you thinking about that, or just like
not really, to be honest. I think.
Okay, so one more on Israel.
Okay.
You have the perspective of Maccabi, the national team. Now 10 years, sort of seeing the organization, the cultures of NBA. If you had a magic wand, then you'll be the Israeli sport minister in a decade. Like, what can we bring here to Israel to help with sports there, or the level, or sort of fundamentals, or sort of anything, any thoughts of how can we make sports in Israel better?
Well, first and foremost, I think there's a big need for sports psychology in Israel. I think we're far behind. I think we have so many brilliant minds in our country, you know, playing sports in general, not necessarily basketball, but in basketball as well, there's so many great minds that we should definitely have advantage from that standpoint. You know, we're not necessarily going to have the best athletes, or but there are certain things that we should excel. And it's obviously using our brains and having shooters. We don't have really natural shooters in our country, which is funny. We don't have the greatest athletes, but we should definitely have good shooters and good point guards and stuff like that. And it starts from a very young age. I think we're missing the part of having good coaches teaching the fundamentals of the game. Everybody want to be the next Penny Gelshon, and Penny was a phenomenal X's and O's. And he can draw up a play and it'll be an amazing dunk. But when you teach the young generation, you should teach them the basics of the game. And it's funny. We are an NBA team, and we go through practice. And my brother came, and my brother coaches under 14 in Israel. And he said, "You guys are doing the basics." I was like, "Our practice is seriously. We start every practice from the basics. We literally our practices are 45 minutes, and we do basic basketball drills, from passing, bounce passes to crossovers to between the legs to jump shots." Basic stuff, and it's like, why people are so trying to be like this new Albert Einstein of basketball. The basics the fundamentals are what you should preach and teach, and that's what create good habits and good basketball players at the end, and we're missing that. And you see, I asked my brother, "What do you teach your players? How do they defend?" Like, "Well, we're playing 1-3-1 defense. We're playing 3-2. We're playing like, what are you talking about? Like, this guys should." At this age, they should just play man-to-man. They should teach the fundamental defending. It's easy. It's basic. And everybody, but if he's not going to win games, he's not going to, move forward, and he won't be able to coach, a pro team or whatnot. And it shouldn't be the focus. The focus should be teaching the fundamentals of the game, the passing, the shooting, and then we're going to have better basketball players. But it goes all around, all sports. It's like that.
Okay, last question. Within the Warriors, with the Valley technology, I think if we have to unite all the different investments of Warriors players in tech, we'll probably get one of the most successful venture funds in the Valley. How does it work? Do you guys compare sort of like seed and Series A pitches on the plane, or like?
We do.
I'm kidding, but how
No,
do you guys talk about? You do, okay.
We do. It's funny because we have a lot of guys. The way I go about it is my whole career, I always believed that I wanted to create a safe net for myself when I retire. I never really invested in iTech before maybe the last 2-3 years. I felt like I needed to create a cash flow portfolio, in a sense that the day I retire, I'll be living comfortably without having the stress of not necessarily working, but feeling comfortable with my life. And it's still the notion of my portfolio, but our guys are just, we have Draymond who, and Clay, we're doing things together sometimes, and Andre and Steph and KD, and the guys over the years when we came in the league in 2009 is that 85% of NBA players, when they end up their career in the next 5 years, are broke. Yep. And it's funny, you ask how a guy who made $100-something million can be broke, and now our guys are a lot more sophisticated and finance literature in a sense that they want to learn about their finance, and they want to invest their money the right way, and they have good advisors. Those things weren't available when we came in the league. It was only 9 years ago, but it feels like night and day. But this group of guys is obviously different than the groups around the league. It's not the prototypical NBA player, but we talk, we brainstorm sometimes. It's funny. It's like, as soon as I came into the team, it's like, when you have something good, tell us. Like share with us. Maybe we want to invest. Maybe we want to, congratulate you. Maybe it can be anywhere. It can be on the plane. It can be, not during practice, but after practice. It can be, we're taking a shower and the guy was like, "Oh, I just did this and it went really well. We just sold." And it happens, and it's fun because you have smart people around you, and you have good, people that have been in the business. A couple of times that, Andre introduced me to managing partner of a venture capital, just a guy that is Israeli or Jewish or whatnot, and we had a good click from the beginning. So we talk about stuff, and they help me to through stuff that I do, and it's just fun. These guys are great.
That's awesome. Okay, thank you. Let's open up for. Let's open it up for you guys. Any audience questions? Tiffany.
I have a question for actually both of you. Omri, if you were not playing basketball, what would you be doing? And for
Tough.
Leor, this selfish as an investor, what's next for you?
It's a good question because I've been asked that a lot. It's tough because that's who I know about myself. That's who I am. It's like you'll ask me, what would you do if you were 6 foot? It's who I am. I was born 6'9", and thank God I'm in this position to play basketball. And I play basketball from the day I remember myself. From a very young age. But basketball led me to different things and meet so many different people that I was able to gather a personality and interest around basketball. So basketball always been my number one, in life. But now I have opportunity to do different stuff. I like real estate. I like different investments. I like connecting people and having a good network of people. So obviously networking is very important, and you can create so many different bridges and connections. It's awesome. So take that and do what you want to do. In the end, that's the most important for me. What's for you?
His question is easy for me to answer. I've always been a basketball player. I don't think I have the height or the stamina. I love what I'm doing at Uber. I think transportation is such a huge part of the economy and such an unbounded opportunity. We're just at day one. So I'm just psyched to continue doing that under the Uber umbrella. I'm basically now incubating Uber logistics business, which is going extremely well. And just excited to really sort of innovate in such a fundamental building block of the economy. And if you're curious, wait until tomorrow 10 a.m. This is a safe forum, but we'll have something outside of the embargo coming up tomorrow, so you'll see what I'm up to nowadays.
Omri, quick question. You touched out for a minute about the relationship you have with your coach, and you've been in the league for a number of years, and you've managed to play for certain different coaches. And you hear stories about coaches not talking to a specific player for 3-4 months. And for us, in the relationship that we have, I don't see myself not talking to any of my employees in my company for, if there 3-4 days go by and I don't talk to someone, something's obviously wrong. Can you, without, naming names or trashing anyone, can you just expand a little bit, talk a little bit about the different type of relationships you have with different coaches?
Yeah, from Steve's perspective, he's a very good communicator. What I learned just from the outside, he has a trigger with every player. I don't know if he does that on purpose. It probably is, but he knows what I'm in, what my interests are, and what I'm passionate about. And I'm obviously not the top guy within the team, and this team won championship without me, and they will win in the future without me. So, but he knows how to get to me. It's funny, I don't remember a coach that I haven't played a game and I wasn't mad about. And I really feel that his agendas are clear for the motives of the team, and he knows how to get to me. He knows when, in the end of the day, we're all athletes and we all want to play and we all want to obviously compete at the high level, and there's obviously certain frustration that comes with it, but you just know how to get to you. And over the years, I've had coaches that I would come home and I was like, I told my wife or whatnot, or my family, I don't feel appreciated. And it's not a fun feeling to be, to be at, especially as a basketball player, because in the end of the day, we play in 82 games in 6 months, 6.5 months. We're playing every other day. So if you're not, your head is not in the right, you can have an amazing month and then your head is not at the right page for a week. You played 4 games and you're out of the rotation again, and then you got to work your way, back in. So he just know how to get to you. It's funny. It's just how it is. And And when you feel passionate about your coach and passionate about your working place, and you feel appreciated by the coaching staff, and you don't feel like you didn't play because you suck and they don't like you. As your head is in the right motives, you come into practice, you practice harder, you come to the next day and you're ready to go. You're at the right page. So even for a business, it's just when your boss, my boss feels good about me, I feel good as an employer. In the end of the day, it's a business, and whether we play or not, you feel appreciated and you play the right way.
Omri, from the outside, I think like the professional world, the professional sports world looks like very pure. And I know like I've used quotes like from David West actually when presenting to some of our employees. The question is, does politics play any part? Like, you have this guy, this agent, so you get to start, or this other dude has, plays for Nike and you play for Adidas, and
It happens in a macro level, yeah, it does. The U.S. national team, for example, they always take Nike guys. Nike sponsored. There's very rarely an Adidas guy, or they usually take the picture of the Adidas guys in the second row. But it happens. You don't want to believe that, but it's obviously we live in a very competitive world, and there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of influential agents involved. And to a certain extent, it happens. You just got to live. It's just the way life is, I guess. And unfortunately, sometimes it happens. More than you don't want to think about it. But in the end of the day, I mean, not a team like the Warriors, obviously. And there's some really good teams. They're a really good organization that they run the right way. And it's always been weird to me how, most NBA owners are obviously they got to the point of being an NBA owner. They've made a lot of money. They've been really successful, and then they have a $1 billion business that's been run so poorly. And it's weird, but it happens. Unfortunately, yeah, it definitely happens.
you're a free agent next year.
Right.
You want to come to the process?
It's the Philly. We'll see. We actually had a good talk. I love the. Don't get me misquoted. I love the Warriors. I don't want to stay here, right? But Philly are going in the right direction. I think they're the second best young talent in the East after Boston. But those two teams are out there to stay for many years.
Okay, maybe you take two more. Then.
Most of us are in relocation here. We feel in relocation here. And how do you feel part of the Israeli or Jewish community?
I definitely feel in relocation. I mean, last year I played for the Kings up the road. I got traded to New Orleans. I played there one game, I broke my thumb, and I moved a month later, we moved to Minnesota. And then the season was over, 12 games. And then free agency starts, and then we signed here with the Warriors. So we relocated here, and we never really bought a house or a home because you never know where you're going to be next year. A one-year deal, and it's really hard. So we're definitely feeling, relocated, and obviously our home is always going to be in Israel, but even here we always moving from place to place. And the second question again, sorry?
How do you feel about
the Jewish community, sorry, yeah.
Are you Israeli? Do you feel part of the Israeli community?
So we really, here in San Francisco, I live in Oakland Hills, in Oakland.
How many Israelis?
Not a lot of Israelis there now. But, over the years I played in Sacramento. It's a very small Jewish community. I was very involved there. I was there for 5 years. I was in Cleveland, but most of the Jewish community lived in Beechwood, which is kind of far from downtown there. So it was a lot harder to get there, especially in the winter is awful over there. I was in Houston, and the Jewish community there is so spread out, and it was harder to get involved. But here, I feel like every city that I've been to, I always felt an amazing amount of support, and obviously playing for the best team in the world, maybe of all times, we have so many Israeli and Jewish fans all over the country, and it's always been amazing. For me and my wife and my family, we always been appreciated, and everything we needed from the community. Our owners are Jewish, and from day one, we had dinner in Tel Aviv, and we came back here. We had, he introduced me to so many people, and it's been great. So, the Jewish community has been amazing, really.
My son is asking You do lectures in school.
I don't actually. I wish. The problem is we have so many games. You know, it's hard, and it's really hard. And we play tomorrow night. We play Brooklyn tomorrow. We play Thursday night. We play the Spurs. We play back-to-back in Portland Friday night, and then we play Minnesota Sunday afternoon. And then we have 2-3 days off. So that'll be some time. We can go to the zoo or the aquarium. But my wife, we got to go there. But other than that, it's been great. Yeah.
Okay, maybe final question? Yes?
You mentioned passion. For us, it's very important to be passionate about your company, infuse passion with our employees. When you look at the Warriors, probably you have a player that invents passion, and it's called the heartbeat of the team, Draymond Green. Can you share with us how is it to play with him, and any special story on court or off court with him?
Yeah, Draymond is a very special basketball player. He's not he's not an amazing shooter. He's an amazing defender, an elite defender, on the ball and off the ball, which obviously is really accustomed to this team of what he does. But when you put the guys in the right spot to succeed, they have a better chance of succeeding, obviously. So, I think it's, ever since Steve took over the job, he put those guys in the best situation to succeed. And Draymond is in a prime example. He's a leader. So many times, we have team meeting. Steve calls everybody up. We can win 10 in a row, but it doesn't matter. He wants to talk to the guys about our agenda and what we're trying to do, or where we've been slipping or whatnot. And he'll talk, and then Draymond will come up and say something right on point. Like, hey guys, we were not talking enough on defense. And Steve can talk about defense for 10 minutes, and then Draymond will bring something completely out of the ordinary, but and everybody's like, damn, he's right. And you have guys that are pretty good basketball players, but as players, we're not always thinking about it. So Draymond his passion is motivated. He's like that in practice. That's who he is. And as an organization, everybody feel when he talks, everybody listen. Because he earned that respect. And that I think it's a combination of being in the right situation and the right at the right time. But at the same time, Draymond has just been an amazing leader of this team. In the end of the day, he's the heart and soul. It's really how it is.
Okay, Omri, thanks for spending.
Thank you.